Some people are born to attract the limelight towards them. And look at this man. He is just one of those people. Even if he has retired from international cricket, even if today's match is between DC and CSK, or even if Dhoni doesn't come out to bat at the top of the order, we just can't keep him out of our run order.
Absolutely. And that is why, without wasting any time, let's straight away dive into a discussion about Dhoni.
In both the games that CSK has played till now, Dhoni has come on to bat at number 7. Once he played just 2 balls, and in the second match, he couldn't get off to a good start, and later on, he attacked and got some sixes. So, here the point is the stats prove that Dhoni shouldn't come lower down the order, because when he comes at 5 or up, the win percentage of his team is 57%, which drops to 37 when he comes at 7 or below. But if I put aside the stat part and if I look into Dhoni's quote, which he gave after the defeat against Rajasthan Royals, he said that he has a 14-day quarantine. That didn't help. And then he wanted to try different things, give opportunity to someone like Sam Curran. And if that doesn't work, they can go back to their strengths. So by their strengths, I'm assuming that strength as in Dhoni's batting strength, the hitting strength. But here, one thing I want to point out, is it still their strength? Is Dhoni's hard hitting still their strength? Because if you want to avail that strength, you want this man, and if you are believing that that is your core strength, you want him to be prepared to get the game time, which he has not got during the quarantine period. You want him to give the match practice, you want him to give the balls in the middle, and if that is your strength, you want to back your strength first and not give experience to some juniors. I know giving experience to junior cricketers is a art, is a leadership quality, but in a tournament like this where there are 14 games, you just can't afford to lose 3 or 4 matches right at the start.
Absolutely. And Stephen Fleming has recently said that talking about Dhoni coming out to bat late, that it takes a bit of work, and a part of his process of getting up to speed in his game time is the match time that he's getting right now. And as the tournament goes on, he will just get better and better, and that people expect him to get a 30 ball 70, and that's a tough ask because there are players who are in good form and can do a job. So basically, I have a few doubts here. First point is, if as Stephen Fleming has said that he needs game time, then how is he getting this game time coming at number 6 or 7? In the first game, his game time was 2 balls. In the second game, his game time was, I don't know, at number 7. He will barely get what Stephen Fleming is calling as game time. Now, number 2, he has said here that he'll just get better and better as the tournament goes. So basically, what Fleming means is absolutely opposite to what we have always heard. We always hear that a cricketer gets better and better with match practice. Here, what Fleming is saying, because obviously Dhoni coming in late will not get much match time. So Fleming is indicating that he will get better and better in the nets. Also, Fleming has mentioned that all this is keeping in mind that Dhoni has not played cricket for the past 1.5 years. Now the point is, Murli Vijay and Shane Watson also have not played a lot of cricket. So then, by that formula, Rituraj Gaikwad or other youngsters in the team should be playing instead of Watson and Vijay. That's not happening, right? Everybody is getting their own chances to play, their own game time, and then they will obviously, as the series progresses, I'm sure they will start performing, or the chopping and changing will happen. It's a baffling decision beyond understanding. Why is Dhoni coming down at 7? And if Dhoni is not going to perform, not be the finisher, and is just on the field because of his mind and strategies, and he's he's the captain here, then if he's in the team only as the captain, then the team needs to rethink its strategy. He can be in the dugout and still be the captain, right? And he can still think for someone else. But if he's playing only because of his captaincy, then he's actually doing the opposite of what he's saying he's doing. He's saying here he's giving opportunity to youngsters, but then you're preventing a youngster from getting an opportunity to be the captain of the team, to play in the team, because you're playing just for your captaincy. So this strategy from CSK is beyond my understanding. I hope the strategy that we suggest in our section strategy corner will be easier for you to understand.
So in Strategy Corner, we'll be discussing about one of the fierce competitors in world cricket in terms of bowling, that is Kagiso Rabada. He is the second bowler in IPL to get 2 wickets in 8 consecutive games. First one was Lasith Malinga, and he is your ideal bowler. He can bowl those Yorkers, he can bowl those bouncers, he can bowl with pace. Everything that you need in a coaching manual of a bowler, Kagiso Rabada is that one. So if you are up against this kind of a bowler, what should the CSK batsman strategize?
I think it is important that when you are playing against someone like a Kagiso Rabada, you should always play the ball on its merits. Something like KL Rahul did perfectly well yesterday. When he initially started the innings, he didn't play risky shots. There was a ball on the leg side, he tucked it for a boundary. There was one way outside off stump, he cut the ball for a boundary. So wait for the bowler like Rabada to make the mistake, because his short balls will be absolutely towards the body of of the batsman, and we also know he has a deadly Yorker towards the death. See, when you talk about death bowling, probably the batter doesn't even have too much options. They have to go for the kill. But when you're opening the batting, you know Rabada will not get more than 2 overs up front. So for those 12 balls, you can just completely focus your mind and focus on playing the ball on its merits, and tap and take singles. That is something Watson and Vijay hasn't done as yet. Why don't you just block, drop, run? One run, you take 6 runs in his 2 overs. There you go. You have 12 runs. You have 6 runs per over. You will feel more comfortable.
Exactly, and I also feel that they can, if Rabada is bowling good line and length, they can just target maybe Nokia or Mohit Sharma, just like Punjab had done in the first match, and just keep the scorecard moving. And now we'll be moving further in our segments. We next up is our predicted 11.
So I'll straight away move on to my CSK playing 11. I have got Watson, Vijay to open, Duplessis, Gaikwad. I will actually keep the same, almost the same 11 as CSK had in the last match. My one change would be, instead of Lungi and Giri, I want Imran Tahir in. And the reason being, you have Rishabh Pant, against whom Bishnoi bowled really well, and he was getting bitten by the leg spinner. Now Imran Tahir is that kind of an impactful bowler. Having him in your side is important, because he doesn't go for that many runs always, so he can give you a more economical spell than Lungi and Giri. Secondly, against wrist spinners, there are high chances that the batters would like to go for risks and then lose their wickets. And Imran Tahir is a wily customer. He's going to continue to, beat the bat, bowl new deliveries, give his variations, because with a bowler like Tahir, he knows exactly which ball to bowl. And you remember you have 3 left-handers in Shikhar Dhawan, Shimran Hetmeyer, and Rishabh Pant. I think it would be perfect to get in Tahir for this match. What is your
I
playing 11,
totally,
Orgo?
yeah, I totally agree with your team and the batting slots also. There's one thing which I want to ensure is that I want to see more of Murli Vijay as an opener. I feel he hasn't done much as an opener since India's test failures in England. I feel so.
Right.
And also, I feel Watson is due for a big innings. He has got those starts, but he hasn't converted them. And that's why I make him the star player of the match today for myself. And I want to see this young talent in Ruturaj. He should come into bat at 3. And as we have said, Dhoni should come into bat at 4. So that's the thing which I want to say about CSK. And moving on to Delhi Capitals, is the same team I want to use which they played in their first game against Kings 11 Punjab. The only thing that I want to ensure is that Prithvi Shaw should keep his focus. He lost his cool against Shami and Cottrell's good bowling. Here, Chahar will be there, Deepak Chahar, with a good swing
Right.
and all that. I just want him to take his time, focus, and then go for big shots. Another thing is Stoinis. Stoinis knows how to play T20 cricket. He has been playing so much T20 cricket in BBL. He's coming up the batting order for Australia. Here he is coming down the order. So it's like bread and butter for him. He was the match winner for Delhi in the last game. I don't think he's that good with the ball, but if he combines his batting with his bowling, he gives out a good package. Ashwin was injured in the last game. Everybody thought that he might not play, but looking at the Instagram post and all the updates, it seems that Ashwin will be there. He will be bowling and he will be very effective against the CSK lineup because there are a lot of experienced people there in the lineup and his own experience will come into play. What do you think?
Absolutely. And on the Ashwin point, I will add two things. One, he is my star player of the match. First of all, again, I'm also going with the same lineup.
Hmm.
Ashwin is my star player of the match because Dhoni is not a good player of spin. Though Watson and Vijay are good players of spin, but you have to remember last time also they got out playing foolish shots to spinners only. But and Ashwin is a very cheeky customer. He will be mixing up the ball. He will be setting up the batters, and that will be a very interesting battle. Getting to one more important point, I think Shikhar Dhawan now needs to fire. And this match, I hope he fires because if he fires at one end, the you spoke about Prithvi Shaw. I feel if Dhawan starts firing at one end, the pressure on Shaw will be less because right now Shaw is feeling all the pressure of giving a good start, which will not happen once Dhawan fires. Now, tell me something. Who do you think will win the match? Anyway, you were wrong yesterday, and I'm guessing today also
I
you'll
know.
be wrong.
Don't keep promoting that 3-2 score which is coming in the screens now. I feel today it's all about Delhi, 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 Delhi.
Today I'm not that happy because I'm also supporting Delhi. So anyway, if Delhi loses also I'm not going to.
Arey,
But
man.
anyway, remember we are still gonna stay 3-2. Just
Let's
saying.
see. Let's maybe 4-2, 4-3. I hope it's 4-3. Both of
No, it
us get the
can't.
correct
Both of us
answers.
can get points,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Okay. For
But we will
now,
still be less.
let's see. Let's see. That's the topic of another discussion. For now, we'll just ask you to keep liking us on Facebook and on Instagram and keep subscribing to us on YouTube. Till then, bye bye.